Alright, so second video ever. I haven't put Blake Bortles up yet for Loser of the Week. That was my first video. We're going to look at the Ravens' 2017 draft class and see how they did this season. We'll start with Marlon Humphrey. He's 21 years old. We picked him out of Alabama, 16th pick overall. Let's see. So he started all 16 games. 2 interceptions for 33 yards. 11 passes defended. 30 tackles, 4 assists. 4 assisted tackles. Oh my god. He locked down AB that game where we barely lost to the Steelers. I think AB had 2 catches for like 12 yards or something. I saw Marlon, and I don't know why we had Brandon Carr on him. Why did we even... We should have had Marlon on him the whole game. Humphrey overall, honestly, besides Lattimore, I think he's the best corner in this draft class. I mean, guys we could have taken, there's not really... I think Marlon Humphrey would be the safe pick, and... I mean, at the time that we drafted him, like, what? We drafted a corner? We have Jimmy, we have Tavon, we just signed Carr. Why would we need another corner? Well, Tavon got hurt in the preseason. Jimmy got hurt halfway through the season. I mean, that is a really smart pick. And I know Ozzy loves his Alabama guys, but this is a really good pick. Like, he's this cornerstone of our defense for the next 10, 15 years. So I really like that pick. I'd give that, I'd grade it an A. And of course, I'm no NFL scout, but, moving on. Let's see. Okay. Second round, pick 15, we take Tyus Bowser out of Houston. And, okay. I sort of liked this pick because I thought he didn't live up to my expectations at all. Like, we needed pass rush. We needed to insert some youth and get some pass rush. We didn't get that much out of Tyus the first season. I really wanted Baltimore to take Juju in the second round. Juju Smith-Schuster, receiver out of USC. I really enjoyed watching Juju play. I really did. And since we needed receivers and we didn't address that the whole offseason, I thought Juju would be the perfect pick. But we take this guy out of Houston, Tyus Bowser. He played 16 games also, which I like. 3 sacks and 7 tackles. And yeah, I know, other guys were starting, but Tyus played 16 games. There's no excuse for getting 3 sacks and 7 tackles. I think he'll do better his second year, especially with Suggs getting older. I mean, he can't play like this forever. Bowser had an interception also. And that's it for Bowser. He defended 3 passes, so it was an underwhelming year for Bowser, but I didn't really know much about him going into this year, and I thought he'd do better, but I think he'll do better next year. With the third pick, I have to keep going back to the website. Round 3, pick 10, we get Chris Wormley, defensive end out of Michigan. So, I wasn't too happy about this pick, and I was still scratching my head that we haven't taken an offensive guy yet, and our offense looked horrible. But Chris Wormley, 7 games, I know he's held to some injuries. 5 tackles. That's the only stat on him. 5 tackles, 7 games played. I never heard this guy's name ever in a Ravens game this year. Besides the first game when we were talking about draft class. That's the only time I ever heard about Chris Wormley. I don't think he's going to be anything huge or spectacular. I mean, our D-line's already pretty good and we have depth at that position, but looking at this right now, and I know this is only a year into it, there's going to be rookies who explode like for second, third, fourth, fifth year. But Chris Wormley, wasn't a good year for him. Also in the third round, pick 14, number 78, we take Tim Williams, outside linebacker out of Alabama. I was still wondering why this guy was on the board, but I guess there's something that we didn't know about that maybe the NFL teams did. But Tim Williams, we're looking at him, he played 8 games, 5 tackles, and wow, that's it. I really thought I saw his name more. I guess not. Again, he was injured for quite a bit of a year. I mean, I just said 8 games, so he played half the season. He was also a guy we had high expectations for. I mean, we needed some youth to pass rush the QB. And I mean, the first half of the season, our veterans were doing it. Mosley, Suggs, Williams. But it sort of died off near the end of the season, which really hurt our playoff hopes. And we were expecting Williams to do good, but I guess he didn't live up to it. I really like Tim Williams. I know Ozzy loves his Alabama guys. He's 24 right now. He's still going to get better for sure, but window's closing. Man, I really don't know about this pick. I really don't know. Because I hope Tim Williams will be something, but I just don't know. Round 4, pick 15. Nico Siragusa, guard out of San Diego State. Now, I liked this pick. Because I was thinking in this draft, Yonda is probably going to get hurt again. I'm not going to do an I told you so thing, even though I sort of did right now, but guess what happened? We needed offensive line depth. I like it. I also like how his last name's Siragusa. Because of Tony Siragusa. First practice, he tore his ACL, MCL, and PCL during running. That's all I have on him. I know I shouldn't be laughing. This is a serious thing. I hoped Nico could play this season and we could have used him. And Alex Collins would have loved him also. But there's not anything I can say about him. He's not a flop yet. I guess no one's really a flop yet. But I don't know. I didn't watch any games at San Diego State when Siragusa was playing, but I've heard of. He's a pretty good offensive lineman. And it's hard to find out about offensive linemen, too. So, we're moving on to the 5th round, pick 15. We're addressing more offense. And we only had 2 offensive picks last year. We had Nico, and we had Jermaine Illuminor of Texas A&M offensive tackle. And I heard his name a little bit when he was playing. He didn't play a lot, but I mean, with all those O-line injuries, I don't know why he didn't. He played 8 games, and he started 2 of them. There's no sacks allowed, I don't think. It's not really much on him. I think it's what you'd expect out of a 5th round pick tackle. That's it on Illuminor. And our last pick of the draft, round 6, pick 2, we took defensive back out of Virginia Tech, Chuck Clark. And I really liked this pick. I'm not gonna lie, I loved that pick. He turned 20. He's 22 right now. He played 15 games. And let's look down here. 5 tackles. I don't know why everyone has 5 tackles. This is so weird for rookies. He defended a pass. And when I saw him, and I keep bringing up the Steelers game, but near the end of the year when we had Jimmy out and we needed help there, I think Chuck Clark played pretty well. And I don't have any of that Pro Football Focus stuff up right now, but I liked how Clark played. I mean, I don't think he's going to start ever, on our team at least. I mean, maybe if Weddle retires and we need Chuck Clark, I mean, he's a solid player that I think is a steal for 6th round. This year's draft I'm going to talk about more in a different video, but this draft class was sort of underwhelming, especially in the later rounds. So we have Humphrey, who's an A. Bowser, I'd give a D. He didn't do... Actually, no, I'll give Bowser a C. I'm not going to do C plus or C minus or anything like that. I'd give Bowser a C because he did get 3 sacks. And he did get some pressure. Not as much as we wanted him to, but... Chris Wormley, I'd give a D. He got hurt. He didn't do much. Tim Williams, I'd give a D. He didn't do much either. He got 5 tackles and a pass defended. Round 4, Nico, I can't give him a grade. I'm not going to give him a grade because he didn't play at all. Jermaine Illuminar, I'm going to give that grade, I guess, I'm going to give that a D. Because he didn't stand out when we saw him play. And Chuck Clark, I give a B. Because that was a pretty good place to draft Chuck Clark. I think he's a steal. So, that's it for now. I'm going to try to find a place to put the loser of the week, Blake Bortles. Second video, this is the Gabe Report, signing out.